Barefoot Bruisers. I'm Sawtooth Dave. It's XR3 by Sergey Rogovitz. Hope y'all doing well. It's actually Friday right now, so my frame lock Friday was the XR3. See, I'm a little hot. Just got done prepping some titanium for hopefully a run of the Sawtooths. My version of a Sawtooth, anyhow. I was going to show y'all our detent, or try to explain my method for detent, and it was for the Nkosi. Like this, I was trying to think of something I could do that had the material for that I wanted to do. And so, this is a reblade already. I was going to fit this one, so I've got it to here. I just had to cut the blade out and stuff. I just ran out of time, so forgive me. I'll go over it in another video. It's not that revolutionary after I thought about it, but if someone else is curious about how I do it now at this point, my method at this point, it's a little different, so I'll go over it hopefully next week if everything goes as planned. But in this process of doing these Sawtooths, like I'm just kind of like spitballing here. I think I'm going to show like how the process starts and how it goes. So far I started yesterday with the prepping of the titanium. I already had the titanium. Brother Steve sent me that shit last year for my birthday, I think is when I got it. But it's a big old sheet. It was like a 6-inch wide sheet. I don't know, how was it, 24 inches or whatever it was. And I basically had to cut it all. But I'll go over the whole process instead of like weekly thing. Because it's probably going to take me a while. I'm aiming to build 6 of the Sawtooths. One of them will have either an original Grayman scale or one of the CNC scales that I made how many years back. The other ones are kind of up in the air as what I do, if it's just going to be exactly the same or what. As of right now, I'm pretty much planning on putting bearings in all of them, and I think that's for right now. That's about all I'm got planned for that. And I'm kind of sort of already, because quite a few people have kind of been on deck for something I've built for a long time. I can't rightly just go choose people. I don't want to do first come, first serve. So I think the fair thing to do is when it gets down to that point and I start getting them, it'll be like a lottery system. I'll just do it. Like right now, it's pretty much like I'm not planning on doing books. But it'll be kind of like I'll get one done. Hey, I like that one. Okay, do it this way. Like if you have suggestions. So when I was just talking about Steve a minute ago, we talked earlier this week, and he was thinking about maybe a Tanto recurve instead of like a drop point or something like that. That might be something I do possible. I don't know how crazy I'm going to get with some of these or how close to the original I'm going to get. So if you're like a diehard Grayman Sawtooth fan, you want another Sawtooth just produced by somebody else, this ain't going to be it. This is inspired by that Sawtooth. So first of all, obviously the Sawtooth runs on a bushing system, if you didn't know, very similar to like a Sebenza. Not what I want to do here. Not that I couldn't do that, but it would be much harder for me to reproduce that. I'm talking about much tighter tolerances than what I've been holding, like a couple tenths between the bushing and the blade, and a couple tenths between the pivot and the bushing. So it's a much tighter tolerances. I would have to order much more equipment or tooling in order to do. And quite honestly, I'm just not set up to be that tight. It's almost like, I'm not gonna say you couldn't do it without CNC, because you definitely can, but I can't, especially the turning stuff. Like my lathe is pretty inferior. I can't hold tenths with my lathe. It just is what it is. So I'm not even gonna attempt to do the bushing system. If someone's hell bent and set on I gotta do phosphor bronze, I'm gonna try to make it where you can swap out the bearings for phosphor bronze. The bearings I'm using, I'm pretty sure they make a thick washer for it. So that's sort of the game plan for the future. Now, by the way, I hope y'all had a good week. I didn't even mention that yet. I'm over here, you get hot, you can't think good. That's pretty much where I'm at right now. I literally just come in, I've got the titanium in the oven, doing an annealed state right now, doing an annealed cycle rather. So in 2 hours from now, I'll be able to pull that stuff out of there, and hopefully all the material will be prepped or close to prepped at that point. All right, so last week I told you I was going to do the 2 blades that are going to be for sale this week. So same thing with those. I'm just going to continue it on, and unless y'all lottery suck, do something different. Once I start doing something original, maybe that'll change, but like right now, I'm doing a twist on the Grayman, and I'm doing reblade, these last 2 reblades right here, which I guess there'll probably be another reblade with that CRK. Since I got it started, I might as well do it. We're just gonna do lottery. So instead of being like, hey, first come, first serve, which I kind of sort of traditionally have been doing, or like, at least like if a few people are interested, maybe I'll do like a coin toss or something like that. But I wanted to be fair for everybody. Neither one of these are cheap, and if neither one of them sell, that's fine. The way I'm kind of looking at it is, let's just start with the kickstand, and I'll go over prices and all that stuff like that. So this is what we got with the kickstand. So I guess I should show you the other side first. So I went ahead and did like kind of a harpoon. It's not really, I guess it's sort of like, because it's in line with, it's above the pivot line, so I don't know what you call that, but it's got a big finger choil up here, so my big mitts can get up here, but when you choke up on it, you can get really high up on it. But super hollow, super hollow. Yeah, it's super hollow. It's super deep hollow, 8-inch, and a flat nose, very similar to that Reese wheeling I did for Tomas, which he just got that knife today, so he's digging it so far. But anyway, slot on the back, chameleon eye on the front. This one is on skiffs. I have the original blade that goes with it. I did do this is basically the annealed cycle I was talking about doing that titanium. This is basically the same thing. It's how you prep it that you get different colors. So this is kind of more of a really, it's not quite as dark as the one I did for Denise, because this is kind of like the finish that DSK put on it, and I didn't do anything other than just like clean it and then put it in for the cycle. But for whatever reason, me doing this annealed state, like titanium annealed state, seems to help these knives a lot. I don't know if it's because of the titanium that some people are using. That's what I've done so far. But on every one I've done it for so far, have all benefited from the action feeling better afterwards. And it's actually a pretty hard, durable finish versus like an anodized kind of thing. Anodized scratch is pretty easy. I think this is pretty hard. From what I gather, like when I go to sand on it, it's pretty hard to sand. So we'll just call it like I don't know. Is this a hot rod finish? I don't know. Someone called it like a rat rod, the last one, but this one don't have any of that rust color stuff in it. Acid stone wash the blade. Blade is in 3V. 3V is my favorite tool steel. As of right now, it's super tough. I do like, I'm coming around to trying some other stuff like, Nick and I were talking, Nick Edwards, it's been a while back, but he was like, hey, you should try some M4 or something like that. I did find some thick M4, so I may try that in the future and see how the M4 works. I'm not super big on edge retention as much as toughness, but M4 is supposed to be fairly tough for one of those tool steels. I don't have a ton of experience, especially doing heat treat myself with M4, so I may just dabble a little bit into that. Speaking of which, on these sawtooth blades, I haven't really decided what steels to use. Obviously, I want to do some in 3V. So I'm thinking like half 3V and then half maybe something else. Like I think I got to stick a magnet cut. I might could do magnet cut. I might could do M4. I'll give me some thoughts if y'all want something like that. Like I like the tool steels because I think the tool steels are real tough, and that's generally when you buy a bruiser, you're looking for toughness. Although with the way I ground these, this one and Tomas is like it's as thin as a normal production knife you would get, maybe even thinner. It's definitely thinner than what DSK grounds is. This particular one on the stop pin, I made it out of titanium. I wanted this, you can see the blasted tie. I did the pocket clip and the screws and all that stuff. I wanted it to be like a uniform type finish, but I did make this backspacer. And there are some, what do they call them? Easter eggs. There's some Easter eggs in the backspacer, but I'm not going to do close-ups or nothing. So anyway, I paid $1,000 for this knife with the reblade and everything else. I'm going to ask same $1,000. So basically, I did the work for free. It was monetarily for free because I just bought the knife, but I couldn't sell that kickstand for the $1,000 that I paid for it. So hopefully, someone else will like it for the same amount that I paid for it, which was $1,000. It'll come with the original blade, with the original bearings. What else? I don't know. I can't. Yeah, the case, the COA if you want. Dan's COA. I've been making COAs just like with the file cards. Y'all that have got something for me, I always put on top of the box. Always put a file card with like your name and stuff on it. And I'm just making COAs out of those. Both Denise and Tomas asked if I had a maker's mark, and I was like, I don't have anything right now, so I'm just doing this kind of like ghetto style until I get my shit together. There's a lot of the business side of the knife making thing you know, the professional to make everything look right and function right, that I've just not got my mind wrapped around. I'm more worried about the knives, getting the knives done right now. So that's my focus. Maybe in the future, I'll get my stuff together and do that one. So if you're interested in the kickstand, let me know. No one's interested for that same $1,000 that I paid for it. I'm not going to take a loss on it. So if you're like, oh man, I was hoping for a better price. I think the prices coming from me, like as far as like what I'm going to be doing, it's going to be pretty in line with probably what DSK is charging. Maybe a little bit less because my name's not known yet until my name gets out there. But it'll be pretty much in line, I think, with what you're paying for DSK. So, you know, somewhere between that. I don't know if he sells anything under 900 bucks, but 900 to like, I think he does like his Damascus blades like 1300, I believe. Maybe it's 1250, something like that. But whatever, you know, it's in that price range. That's kind of sort of what I'm shooting for. So I realize that prices a lot of people out of the market. A lot of people probably won't even try it for that much, but I can't justify the amount of time and material that I put in that for anything less than that. I hope that makes sense. Like, I want to do this. I'd like to do this, but if it's not profitable and I just do it for me or for the few people who do want them, that's fine too. Like, I don't have to make money at it right now. I would like to try to get to that point where I can make money doing it, but that's the goal. So I'm sorry, it's not like I'm not making a $200 knife for those of you who wish that I could make something cheaper. I use probably $300 or $400 worth of materials, and then the time I put into it, I'm really not making a ton of money. Hope that makes sense, especially with these, that being a DSK, you know, and just rebladed, basically the same price of what Dan would charge for it, or what Dan did charge me for it, actually, was that same $1,000. Should I bought it? Probably not, but it is what it is. Okay, this one's going to take a little bit more of a stretch. This one I came in on a trade from Tomas, actually, and he and I both talked about it. It's just like the way it was just goofy, right? That's the best way I can describe it. Like, the knife just felt goofy, like didn't feel in my hands good or nothing like that. So it's the Red Horse Knife Works Warpig. This doesn't look anything like it did before. So I reprofiled the handle. I'll reuse the backspacer best I can, and it was a floating backspacer, so it still has the, you can see them in there pretty strong now. It does have steel washers in it, and also included another dowel pin. So this is a dowel pin in the back with another dowel pin in the middle, and then the one screw that was in it before. So it kind of looks a little different with that. This is that same process as the other one. Let me get the other kickstand out real quick, just to show y'all. See how much, I mean, they're both brown. Hopefully it comes off in video. This one has a different hue to it than this one does, and it's all about the prep. And I've not really figured out what works better than the other ones, but this one's all, I'm brain farting. When you take a wire brush and makes that dimply finish, whatever, I can't, my brain's not functioning. Help me out, Ken. You're probably yelling at that camera right now. Or maybe you're stuttering thinking about it like I am. I don't know. But Ken and I both struggle in the videos. All right, so yes, I did carve it up right here. It's going to be more open for it's a full-size grip now. So you see how I kind of sort of slanted it up, so it's still got a little bit of this curvy enough right here, but like putting my hands on it, those grooves fit right in what my hands do, and it makes it way more comfortable for me personally. I did kind of a same thing on that one. I did the chameleon eye on this side and the slot on that side, and reprofiled all the horns off of it. You know, there is a lock bar higher on this side than it was on the other side. It's kind of like the Umazon. Like, unless you see it, like if you just put it in your hands and feel it, you can't really feel it. Like, I'm just in my hands, I can't feel it at all. When I go to disconnect it, it's perfect. It's money. And this thing is really, it's not a lot of lock bar pressure. So if you're one of those people that like to do the thumb and drop the thing on your blade, you can do it with this one. It's still breaking in. Both of these are still breaking in. I built them, you know, put an edge on them, and then pretty much has sat them since then. I don't suspect any issues, but if there's any issues, obviously I'll back up the work and will back up the work. Okay, the other thing I wanted to mention on, let me finish talking about this one too. 3V blade also on this one. I didn't mention on this one, this DSK is a 1/4" blade stock. This is like around the 200,000. I think it's like 203, 204 or something. I can't remember exactly. I could mic it, I guess, but I haven't. But I have used both of these a little bit just to make sure that I was happy with how they perform. Same thing again, 8" hollow grind. Looks like I nicked something right there. I don't know, maybe that's I don't know, I can't tell if it's a nick or just how it's hard to tell because there's like a little swoopy in it too. Maybe how the stones washed it, I don't know. They just hit that one spot. But anyway, the pocket clip is the original pocket clip. It does tappy tap a little bit. I could take it off and bend it a little bit. But I will do this too. If you're like, hey, I like that knife, but I really hate the brown, I want you to blast it like I blast every damn thing, like this. If you want that kind of blasted tumble look instead, I'll go ahead and do that for you if you want. Personally, I like the way both of these kind of like the hot rod or rat rod or whatever you want to call it look kind of brown and the kind of like dark and mean, if you will. I think both of these look good. I'm not one to have a lot of color in my collection, so I get it if you don't like it. So I am willing to do that one. Let's just do 600 on this one. So same kind of thing. Like I don't know what the original knife goes for. I know what knife I traded originally from Aaron, and I got that one in, and then I traded it to Moss. So it'll about even me out. Like on from if I logically think about the money I spent versus when I traded it and traded it again to get it back this time, it'll about even me out. Obviously, you know, I got all the work into the blade and the handle and that sort of thing. It's just what the work is worth to me. I guess that's how I'm pricing this stuff. Like I bought knives for well over a decade and a half at this point. And you know, it's like one of those things to me, like, you know, if I wanted to unload a knife, would I sell it for cheaper? Yeah, probably. But if I like a knife, would I let it go for cheaper? Not really. Like I just, it kind of is what it is. The one thing I want to mention on this Red Horse Knife Works is, let's see if we can get on this backspacer. Yeah, there you go. See the little bit of air gap right there? Because it's a floating backspacer, I had to make room for the blade to kind of come in. There's like a little bit of spot right here at the end. You can kind of see air through. You know, if it was solid all the way to the end, maybe you wouldn't, but I don't know. To me, it worked. I was going to make a new backspacer, a whole new backspacer for it, but you know, I actually had, that's why it's doweled, because that's what I was going to do is dowel it, and then I was going to get rid of this screw and run it through it. But after I started working on it, I was like, I kind of like how it looked with the little spiny end. Hopefully y'all can see it. Still has that whole, what do you call that, devil's tail, I guess? Pigtail? I don't know. Yeah, pigtail, I guess. So it still has that kind of piggy look to me. I don't know. I like the way it looks. It's definitely unique, but it's kind of fugly too. So I don't know. I'm attracted to that kind of stuff, I guess. Like the XR3. Like the first time you look at this, do you think it's a good looking knife? You probably don't even think it's a good looking knife now. Like I don't know. I like odd things. Like that's just that's an odd little sucker that Red Horse is. All right, so I wasn't trying to be like all salesman, but it pretty much is. Like this video is pretty much going to be a hopefully a introduction to the project from the Sawtooth. Sorry, I forgot the detent on the CRK, the detent chat that I've been saying I was going to do for the next 2 weeks, and then the Red Horse Knife Works and the Kickstand. Happy Labor Day weekend to all y'all. It's, you know, obviously most people are off Monday. I know I'm working Saturday and Sunday. So let's roll it out and say this video is going to come out Sunday morning. So it's late. The cutoff is Sunday night, 8 o'clock at night. I'll put everybody's name in a hat. I'll try to do, if I got your number or got your Instagram or whatever else, I'll do a video and I'll send it to you. If it's more than one person, if you know want a certain knife, we'll do a lottery drawing or cards or whatever it is, and I'll do it on video and send it to you. If it's somebody that I've never communicated with before, just hit me up. We'll see if we can figure it out. I think that's it for now. Sorry, I'm not like more chatty. It's like, you know, you get to that part at the end of the day. It's Friday evening. It's about 5 o'clock at night ish, somewhere in there. Maybe a little bit earlier, maybe a little later. I kind of lose track of time when I'm in the shop. You know, you get to a point where you just kind of over it. You're kind of ready to go chill for a minute. It's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't know. I got to leave early in the morning, so Friday evening, spend some time with the wife and just kind of chill for a minute and let us both kind of unwind before we got to do the work thing, the other job. Starting tomorrow morning. So we'll call it there for this week. Steel suggestions for the sawtooths, steel thicknesses for the sawtooths. I'm going to go at least, probably everything is going to be at least around the 200 thou ish blade stock thickness, unless someone's like, hey man, make at least one. And I'm kind of thinking I might anyhow make one at least 1/4 inch. So maybe a couple, I don't know, maybe half and half, I don't know. y'all got suggestions, let me know. If you're serious about wanting a sawtooth and you're like, hey, like Steve did, hey, you ought to do a tan-tail recurve. And I wasn't even, it wasn't even on my radar until Steve said it. And then I was like, hey, that's a damn good idea. I might slightly change. I'm probably going to change. You know, the one I'm going to use the scale on, I'm going to have to stay more authentic to Grayman with the amount of jump in and the profile exactly the same. The other ones are probably going to get tweaked and probably going to make them a little more what I want. But like the layout for the stop pins, the pivot holes, and the holes for the backspacer are probably going to stay the same. And the backspacers may change. They may stay the same. I don't know. We'll just go into it. Don't have a solid plan, but I'll figure it out as I go, like I do everything. I think that's it. I think I said everything I needed to say. I hope y'all enjoyed my ramblings, and I hope y'all have a great Labor Day weekend. Stay safe, and those interested, just hit me up Sunday night and I'll figure it out. If you don't hear nothing from me Sunday, then I'll get to you Monday about the drawing, but I want to cut it off, say 8 o'clock Sunday night. It gives everybody 12 hours to watch the video. If you're seeing it after Sunday night at 8 o'clock at night, sorry, from 8 to 8, yes. Sunday night, 8 o'clock, Arizona time. I can't remember, like, I know that's like 11 East Coast, I think, or something like that right now. I can always get confused. You can figure it out. All right, ramblings of a mad hot man. Y'all be good. Later, y'all.